So this stream, you can hear me go yap sessions. Yippee 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 yippee. Alright, so right into it. First off, first little detail I want to talk about is the world port itself, or the world port itself. So throughout this entire CMV, this is kind of like one of my more like favorite symbolisms I did for the video as well. So throughout the whole thing, it's obviously getting worse and worse. Like at the start, there's like barely any glitching, other than when Midas becomes Quixis and when they like use the power. Yeah, there's no glitching. It only starts to get glitch. And notice the glitches here as well. Where are we? Okay, so there's that one. There's that one. They're all like a lot softer glitches. So it's not like harsh. It's like very much transparent. But then you get to this one here, and it's a lot more of like a harsher, more brighter glitch, and there's a reason for that. So not only is it like the type of glitch effect I used, but the fact that that one is a lot of a harsher glitch is because that's the moment that Midas decided like not to bring Icarus in straight away to become Quixis. So that's like kind of like, I don't know, the moment it all started to go to shit. So like their first like big mistake, right? So that's why it's a lot of a harsher glitch. It's like the start of everything that's gonna go down. Because then throughout the rest of the CMV, as you'll notice, especially during this sequence, is when it does start to get all glitchy. And like there, that's using a power, it glitched again. Inside a concave. So yeah, so that was one way I showed. I did the like symbolism for the world port decaying. The other one I did, which is the amount of length of time between cuts in the editing. This is why one of my editing programs I could show you the length of them. So from the start of it, so from here all the way along here, so all along here is one take. Well, I mean, you know, it's two takes here because obviously we had to cut the camera for this. But yeah, from here all the way so the whole walk around all the way around that is all one take, and it was so hard to get because Seb had to like, as you can see, like with the blooper reels here, where are we? Yeah, this here, that's what Seb was filming that shot. That's what he had to hold, walk around, and had to make sure I wasn't stepping on the cords. So it was very tricky to get, but yes, that's all one take. And then it's also like, where are we? So it's all one take, but then the more you get into the CMV, so again, after this moment here, after this major glitch here, is when it starts to get a lot more. So it starts to get like inconsistent and breaking it all up. So the more it starts to go to shit, the more it rapidly like cuts or does new scenes. That's why you don't start getting a lot of rapid stuff until, so like there's it's like new bit to like, again, it's falling apart, rapidly cutting to everything. So yeah, and it's like tasty. I love it. There's also like the little delay effect here towards the end. Where are we? Last one. Yeah. So yeah, that blend there, that's obviously we obviously had to do this like 5 different times. So that's 2 different takes in one. And And yeah, so again, it's like fading, it's like glitching. Minus themselves are glitching, which is my boy, my Shayla. So yes, that's another way I did it. Third way I did it to show everything going to shit was actually the lighting. As you can tell, starts off very bright at the start. Uh, and then yeah, the further it goes, the darker it starts to get. And hang on, can I get a shot with this in view? So this backdrop here is white, and then obviously when you get towards the end here, it's all black. And this, I know how the layout of my CMV goes. Yeah, this sequence here, with like the da da, like the hands, that's like Midas putting up the like the black like wall sort of thing to make sure like it doesn't go any further, like kind of containing all the decay. So that's that. That's why again, that's why like they put the wall up, worlds start falling, everything's glitching, all the sherbs are getting their eyes uh all like bloody, and because it's trying to like be their turn and everything. It also worked out very well. This was so we did all the world port, like all the stuff inside the world port. So like this shot here, and like this bit. So all the parts that you see inside the world port. 9-hour day of filming. Oh my god, Dad, I died. But yeah, so I had a train of thought here. Oh yeah, so that was all throughout one day. It's worked out really well with timing because as you can see in my window that I didn't conceal very well, it's light outside, it's daytime. But then when we got towards the end, it was actually nighttime. And that helped create that dark atmosphere because we weren't trying to fight the sun or anything. And actually worked out really well. This here, oh, this, I think, when did we stop filming? Probably a better question. Maybe like 10, 11? I didn't end up passing out till after 12. Oh my god. Yes, and then, so that's what was way number 3. No, way number 4 is obviously, again, I talked about the glitching and how intense it gets. But then you also have the audio as well, because towards the end here, you can hear him. I do have a favorite moment for this. Okay, so you can hear it there. And then, so the audio itself starts to become, like glitchy and disorienting. And it actually worked out really well because I was just like fucking around with it. But while I was editing, what I did, because the music drops off for the outro, I added a lot of like glitching, a lot of sounds, especially here. So that way when it's just going through that beat and doing the weird breathing thing, when it drops off to that, all the sound stops there, and it's kind of like everything's gone silent versus everything being super loud. And it worked out because I was editing that, and I was like, oh, that's what it feels like to break out of like just I mean, not a panic attack, but just in general thoughts, like everything's so loud, and then it's just and there's something happens, and it all goes way too quiet. Like, where's the white noise of my brain? And that's what that is. I actually had that long yap session I showed. I actually have a whole bit about this shot alone, but we're gonna come back to it. Um, yeah, another thing. So the fourth one there, which was a little bit trickier to do, was camera stability. So I actually do. Okay, I do have it set up, but you can't see it. So I actually zip tied my tripod to one of those those little like basket cage things on wheels, and you put your pot plant on it and you can wheel it around like that. Yeah, I zip tied my tripod to one of them. Um Unfortunately, my tripod itself ended up being too short. So all the shots we did were lower than what I wanted it to be, and that's why they had to pick it up. But I need a taller tripod, and then I can do that. But because that's like a self-made dolly right there. So the camera itself trying to be super steady means, hi, no, you're not late at all. Everyone's welcome in at any time. Hi, how are you doing? We're just going over CMV. So yeah, so camera stability, well, as steady as we could get it, because again, they're like holding 3 million different things. So yeah, so camera stability is trying to be super smooth. I said to Seb, like, keep it as stable as you can through the first part. Jesus.
Green heart emoji.
That scared me. But thank you for the 38 months, Mel. How are you doing? A good thank you answer was really good. Thank you so much. So yeah, so I told Seb, as steady as you can, keep on me and be like as steady as you can for this whole first part here, up to about here was where it had to be stable. So up to where like you hear the paper tear, up to there, steady as you possibly can. After that point, it could be a little unstable. I don't really mind. Which is funny because for this spin 360 shot, we really had to coordinate that because not only because I couldn't just like stand there and then he goes around me. I had to like step forward and back with him so he could actually fit around me in between me and the world port. So yeah, but the fact that it does zoom in and out again shows that slight camera like shakiness. Because then when you get to the end, where are we? Because during this whole sequence, it is very much wobbly. I'm pretty sure I threw in like a shake effect to the camera while I was editing just to give that extra little bit. Mainly just for when I get thrown back here because it is... Where are we? Yeah, for here. I deliberately had to put a camera shake on it to make it shake it better. Because, if you couldn't tell, the WorldPort is not stable, and not just in the fact that I'm trying to show it like full. Oh my god, where is the shot of this thing? Yeah, these here are just like plastic sheets, as you can tell. They aren't stable. So in order for me to throw myself back against the purple one, I had to like, we had to go like, it was like we were coordinating dance. It was like, okay, 1, 2, drop down, hold it, up, and it was so hard. It also means that for, where are we? For this drop here, let me go back a bit further. While that is a stable wall behind me because we just like put a frame up and hung a bedsheet over it, I couldn't lean against it because by leaning against it, I'd snag the sheet and then move it, and that would move the frame, which would knock the whirlpool, and we had to spend more time taping it back up and yada yada. So I actually had to free fall drop to do that shot, and oh my god, that's actually 2 different shots. It cuts. I don't know if you can. I didn't mean to do that. Don't know if you can see it, but police sirens. Yeah, part of the reason it glitches there is to blend in the fact that those are 2 different takes. Like me halfway falling is a new take. So that was one thing. The one thing I really wanted to do with this was try and show like 4 different ways how to show that everything is falling apart and crumbling. So we had the camera stability, the how long it takes in between cuts of editing, the lighting, and the glitching and audio. And fun fact about the glitching, if you'll hear it, I definitely put it here. Listen real closely. That little end bit there, so you have like your traditional like glitching sounds, but then throughout this last section actually, you hear like more like a static, like a buzzing sound. That is actually found accidental because what it is these. And these are... Let me hear. Yeah. So these are these rocks here. That sounds so hard to do, but it looks so cool. Surprisingly, not half bad. But yeah, no, so what all that buzzing sound was me like tipping them onto my desk pretty much. And like in my hands and on some paper to get the sound. What it was supposed to sound like, it was supposed to sound, I probably could have used bigger rocks to get the sound effect, but I was trying to make it sound like rocks were crumbling so I could overlay it on onto this to make, because that's supposed to be the orange and gray world falling and like collapsing, and I was trying to get a rock crumbling sound, but I stuck with like some glitching instead. So that's fuzzy sound effect. When I recorded it, I was like, damn, that doesn't sound anything like crumbling at all. It sounds like static. And I was like, it sounds like static. Copy paste, let's whack her in there. So yeah, that was a happy accident. I gotta get comfy. The leg's going up. We getting serious. Eee. Okay, so these shots here with the sheets, they're actually my least favorite because when I grabbed the sheets, like this orange one I had to borrow from my mum. Me when sounds too. In case you guys haven't seen me absolutely nerd over on my Tumblr about Connor's ambient sound effects. Me when. Yeah, but anyways. So this like orange, when I borrowed the orange sheet, I thought I grabbed the normal sheet, not the fitted sheet. And so when I went to go pull them up, I've gone, oh no, it's gone all bad. And I didn't have the top sheet for the grey one. And I'm just going, oh, it's fine. I just want this to be done. So yeah, I did that. So fun fact, they are my least favorite shots because they just look so silly. Hold on, I can find where I'm up to in my script here. Okay, but speaking of delaying of the shots, everything was filmed within 2 days, a weekend, except for this sequence here. This here. We had to wait. I had to wait like 2 weeks just to film that. Because during the time of filming all of this, it was raining. And it was raining a lot that week. So it flooded, didn't it? And I just, oh. And so we went over to the lagoon where oh my god, where is everything? So we went over to the lagoon, which is here, which, fun fact, is the same, if you go back and watch my Be Nice to Me CMV, paint, yeah. But so if you go back and watch my Be Nice to Me CMV, there's a shot there where it's like POV shot there, and it goes and turns down to see them riding. That's the same lagoon. It's kind of the only one around town that I can get where it's kind of secluded enough that we can film in private, or at least without anyone interrupting us. So yeah, that's the same lagoon. I'm keeping that going. That this will now be my official quand if I ever needed it. But yeah, so all around this was like the water was higher than what it was now, what it was in the shot, and yeah, it was all just muddy everywhere. Where we filmed on this side of the lagoon, so over here where we filmed, where we filmed, muddy, flooded water everywhere. It was terrible. Over on this side was good, but Seb was telling me like that's how quick it took us like 20 minutes to film those shots. But Seb was saying like, oh, like we want to be careful. It is still muddy. You could slip and everything. And I'm just thinking like, mate, I survived the day on 9 hours on nothing but a cookie and like some yogurt and like water. Like I survived 9 hours of filming that. Do you really think I'm caring about safety right now? But for their sake, I was like, fine, yeah, no, fair enough. And he was like, it doesn't have to be done, like, at a certain time. Like, you can take your time with it. And I'm like, I know I can, but I want it to be finished. And like, Be Nice to Me, for example, I, in and out, filmed, edited, done within, like, 2 days. Because when I want to start something, I want to finish it. And I told myself, with this one, we're going to take our time, it's going to be fine. It wasn't fine. It drove me insane. Oh god, yeah, like I said, like I survived 9 hours on basically nothing on filming. And I was so cosplay hungover, chat, it wasn't even funny. But no, so yeah, so it was, in hindsight, it was good that we got that break because I got to edit everything, then chuck that in later. And yeah, just But yeah, I just like it's just it takes so quick, and we couldn't do it the weekend after because not only did I had plans, Jen had plans as well because Seb doesn't live near where I live, whereas Jen does. Um, so I had to wait for her to be free so we'd film the weekend after that, and I just like I just wanted to be finished. So yeah, that was that. And funny story while we're filming, while we're talking about here actually, uh, it was like muggy and terrible and just the you could say it wasn't nice to you. No, it wasn't nice to me. Exactly. Thank you, Moon. You did puns. I like you. um. But anyways, yeah, it was really like muggy and humid and just in general should not be wearing long sleeves in that weather. But there were mosquitoes everywhere, and anyways, one like kind of buzzed around and landed on my head apparently. And just, oh wait, stop! Like, oh, get there's like a mosquito on your head. I thought she was just gonna do like a quick little like a little like dust off like that. Bitch fucking bonked me on the head to get it, and she went and I like lowered my head down so I couldn't see her, and she went bap like that, and I went. Ow, when she said, "Oh, sorry, you had a mosquito," but I got it though. I was like, "Yeah, no, I felt that you got it." And she did that hurt? I've got you just bonked me on the head. My goddamn like camera crew was abusing me, man. But no, fuck me, that was so funny. That just so she wound up as well. That's what it felt like. But no, yeah. Oh my, there was so many mosquitoes, and the ones here lately have been like that big, little bastards. They come in at my work as well, and I'm just like, please. They attack my legs. It's not funny. But yeah, and the torches here as well. I brought them with me so I could show them off. I made that one the three different colors because it's not determined which one they're putting up yet, and this one's yellow's a yes. So same as Be Nice to Me, toilet paper rolls and cellophane. I brought that old trick back. And then the book here is this one, and you'll notice back here. Where is it? Okay, so here, the book I write in here, which if you look closely enough, you'll notice is just a diary back from 2022, which I did not use. So they're two different books. The one I used in this shot is a grey hardcover one. I swear this is relevant. Is a grey hardcover one because I also found like to get that shot because to make it look like I had just like appeared them out of nowhere, I had to do that whole take with like the book shoved in between my legs. So when I stepped back for the start of it, I had to like shuffle back, and then because Seb again had the power cord, while getting it out from under my legs is when I got to step over the cord, so it worked out. Yeah, so that one there is a grey hardcover book, and the one the one for that shot is this one. Two reasons I use two different books. One, to make it look like everything's essentially the world poured into there isn't quite always the same, but also the grey hardcover, grey is Midas' color, and in Minecraft you get brown leather books, so that's what that's supposed to look like. I also use this one because I can't do that with the hardcover. That was the main reason, but it worked out. Oh god, where are we? Oh, I have okay, we're gonna talk about parallels now. Okay, so don't know if you noticed at the start here. Okay, so for that, it's very slowly zooming in. That's one. So it's very, very slowly zooming in. I had to edit the zooming in. So Seb filmed from like back far enough, and then I just edited and zoomed in myself using what do you call them? Yeah, keyframes. Okay, so I'm using keyframes. By the way, I use CapCut to edit. Seb kept telling me like, oh, like you're editing it on like this fancy named editing program, and I'm like, no, man, I'm just using CapCut. It's so easy to use. Which, if you do edit on CapCut, you may know about the fun little thing they're doing where you have to get only like, what is it, 6.5 free things to use without the watermark. And for that alone, I was going to go find a new program. But for this, because I had everything already edited out in my head using CapCut, because I knew what effects it can do and what it can do with CapCut, because I was like, no, I'll stick to this and then I'll find a new program. I went to go and edit. Next to all of the glitch effects, you had to use Pro. The one thing I need to make a quick edit, I was so pissed about that.
Haru, Makoto, stop talking. He wants you to respond. Say something stupid.
So real, so true.
Thank you so much for the bits. Does it tell me how many bits? Hold up. Yep, thanks so much for the bits, Moon. Oh my gosh, I love it. Thank you so much. That was true. But yeah, no. So yeah, I couldn't use any glitching effect, which, as I've explained already, was half the symbolism here. And I just went, oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? So I am now a pro user on CapCut until I find something better and equally good to use. So I am taking recommendations. So yeah, that absolutely pissed me off. I was, oh my god, no. So yeah, so anyways, okay, so you're zooming in using keyframes. So I used, how fun, I know, right? So I used keyframes to zoom in because, again, we were talking about camera stability. That was another way to keep it like looking steady, to like have a nice clean zoom in. Also notice the breathing here too. I try to like breathe out on. So with the music, hang on, let me. Yeah, so the breathing is a lot more quicker. So at every little like gaspy breath is when I breathe out. Versus at the end here. This shot here. We're zooming out. And I got Seb to do the zoom out, which he had to like hold down. He was at an angle, man. So I had him zoom out because, again, with his, and I told him like, be shaky. Don't worry about like, have me center, but don't worry about keeping it steady. So that's him zooming out there to, again, give that shaky effect for that instability representation. And the breathing as well, you'll notice, if I did it correctly. This time I breathe in and out on the gasp. So beforehand it was like very it was every exhale was a gaspy bit in the music, and it was like panicky and everything. But at the end here, it's in and out. Because again, at this point, I get everything's going to shits, and like headcanon, it's getting, I believe it, I didn't put it on myself, but I believe at this point I would have done the decay getting on their chest, because I think you can see on Sherb's cosplay like there's a bit of decay coming up from the shirt. So yeah, so that would have been there. So my headcanon is I would have gotten to like their breathing a little bit. So that's that, like, oh my, that's suffering essentially. What's we got? A detail you may have missed. Where is a shot? Where it's on my face. There's a better shot where it's on my face. In the opening, you see pretty well then. Okay, so the earrings I wear. For starters, I would have coordinated silver cuffs to match the crown. For some reason, all my cosplay earrings are gold, and I don't have silver cuffs for myself, so yeah, damn. But yes, anyways, you'll notice the earrings here, and I have some on my lobes there as well. They're little gold ones, and up here as well. They're all okay. So all their cuffs are silver and gold, except for this one here. It's purple, and I did that for Rael. So that little bit there. So quite a few earrings on there, but then you get to, where's a shot? Probably shouldn't have shown a shot that had a lot of glitching over it. Yeah, and here I don't have as many earrings on. I took out the ones in my lobes. Oh my god, they, for some reason, they must be old because they hurt my ears. So yeah, so I've taken some of the earrings off. I don't know if I took the rail one off. I think I did. I can't remember if I did or not. But yeah, so I removed some of the earrings. One of, okay, I'm trying to figure out how to do this. So half the earrings are removed. From, okay, well, for one, Sherb on their Tumblr posted a whole big graph about what each Sherb's favorite like accessory color and all this was, and Midas was earrings, so that's why I really went on with the earrings. From memory, I believe Sherb also said that when a Sherb becomes a Quixis, they keep two. I didn't notice that. I saw it earring but couldn't see the color. Yeah, I mean, not color, not so much obviously, but like yeah. Yeah. So when a Sherb becomes a Quixis, they I can't remember if it's 2 or 1 things they get to kind of keep, like as them before they have to like change and all that. I believe for Icarus it was the prison scar. I think it might have been a piece of armor. No, they don't have armor as Quixis. They had one other thing I can't remember. And so for, it might have been the ears. No, because that's part of them. I don't know. Either way. And so for Midas, I'm going to assume the thing they got to keep was their crown, because obviously. I made the second thing their earrings. And oh boy, here we go. We're almost ready for the big spiel. So the more I think lighting thing, yeah. So the rainbow on their coat apparently is not meant to be there. That is supposed to be like kind of like the decay and all like their overtime is being quick, so it's kind of stripping it away. Allegedly, so I've read, and I was like, oh my god, are you telling me it's supposed to be like a transparent color? I got cheated out of the greatest cosplay challenge. Are you kidding me? But no. So yeah. So it's kind of like stripping away. Their hair's going white. Everything's starting to decay on them. So I like to this is where my headcanons come in. I like to think that it's slowly taking away their earrings as well. So once all the earrings were gone, it would have come for the crown as well. So yeah, so the more over time they are being Quixis, it's starting to strip away of parts of them, again, like the cloak and stuff. And yeah, it started taking away some of the earrings. And it's so tasty. Okay, I really want to talk about this because this is going to be relevant later. This shot. This one drop. Yeah, this is why I had to organize my thoughts, because this spiel is so fucking long. It's like, buckle up. Okay, so, in gold, Sherb CMV, we see that they had that moment there where the wings, when Quixis glitched Icarus's wings, there was that kind of shot where it kind of backfired and caused Midas's eyes to start to like decay and become like that. But in the No Way Out CMV, you kind of see them like decaying over time. I think it actually had like kind of like their eye was supposed to be bleeding as well, but it wasn't supposed to, so it tended to decay. That's my interpretation of it anyway. So I don't know if Sherb like confirmed if it was like a sudden like bam decayed on the eyes or if it was progressive. It could be either way. But I want to say, especially for like because I used it in here, I want to say that it was like a sudden thing. But again, it could be both. But with the decay, I reckon that the hands. I don't know if they confirmed this, but I think the hands decayed first. I think it was like the blood eye thing. Yeah, yeah. Um, so in terms of decaying, I think it was my take is that the hands actually went first. That's why like you see. Where's my spinny shot? So here. So that's why they're the first bit of decay, which, fun fact, are just painted nylon gloves because I didn't want to paint my hands each time. So yeah, so I reckon it was the hands to go first. Because, you know, Midas uses, or Quixus in general, uses like a lot of like hand movements for changing everything. And, you know, when Icarus touches stuff, it's stuff they touch that makes everything change around them. Which to me, but this is where we kind of get into the theory territory. When Icarus is touching stuff and then it changing, that's kind of like the Quixus power trying to get to them. Because in no way CMV. It's also the hands first. Yeah, yeah. So Icarus trying to like touching everything and it changing. That's to me that's kind of like the Quixus power trying to like be with like go to them because they're supposed to be Quixus and that's kind of it acting out. Especially when Icarus had like those small moments of whack. Like when Fable had that moment of like, oh, like what the dickhead ask? It was like, oh, like who do you want to be or what do you want to do? Yada, and Icarus started like glitching out on like the ground started glitching out underneath them. At the time, I couldn't determine if that was Quixus trying to tell them something or if it was something to do with Icarus, and could be a bit of both. Because like it didn't stop until Icarus calmed down and took a breath. So I reckon it's the power trying to be with Icarus, if that makes sense. But then you got like bigger ones. They could also be like bigger ones like at the cathedral. Again, could be a bit of both Icarus and Midas, but again, probably probably Icarus. Where am I up to? So yeah, so like Icarus kind of has that power there. Which is why in the base, like the whack basement in Unlocked, everything was just constantly like glitching back and forth. Which again, because like you know, Icarus was in obviously a crap ton of pain. So it started acting out that way and didn't stop until Fable came in. But I reckon that even if it was Midas doing some of that, it wasn't them in that moment because again, Icarus is trying to. It's kind of going through Icarus in a way emotionally, but it was trying to get to Icarus, but that's yeah, yeah, exactly. But yeah, so um, hang on, this is why I wrote it down. So yeah, so Icarus is like kind of using the power, but they don't know how to. It's just it's trying to be with them, and it's not connecting because they're not Quixus, even though they're supposed to be. So yeah, I reckon that Midas was also in a great deal. This is how I interpret it from Gold, at least. Midas was in a lot of pain because they got their eyes like blast whacked, like it just bam, their eyes are whacked. When Icarus went to when they glitch Icarus's wings, and they're like they're hurting as well, which is why they weren't even saying anything because they were recovering from that. Is my headcanon. So again, I reckon it's Midas's hands that get whacked first, because again we mentioned it's supposed to be going through Icarus, but it can't. So it's being with them, something they're not supposed to have. Kind of like how Rael stayed in the world port for a long time and they started to get decay. It's like over time. And again, magic going through them with their hands is like kind of like touching the whack, kind of like how when Mumbo got touched with it. It's kind of like that. And the more, again, these are all my headcanons. The more power they use, the worse it gets. So the hands was kind of like an overtime progressive sort of thing. But with bigger things, it has it can have quicker and sudden effects. So glitching Icarus's wings was like a big glitch thing, and so that backfired onto their eyes. And again, I interpret it like it wasn't like one of my interpretations, it wasn't progressive. It was bam. That got that, and because of that, my kind of like interpretation slash theory is since Icarus is supposed to be like they're supposed to be Quixus, I don't know whatever magic determines who the next Quixus is and when their eye starts bleeding, because like Midas didn't get to say when Icarus got to their eye start bleeding. So but whatever force we're messing with here, so whatever like this Quixus magic force thing, knows that Icarus is supposed to be the next Quixus, and Quixus is like obviously like this guardian, this like protector of the multiverse, which again Icarus is supposed to be. So again, because the magic is trying to go through Icarus, they kind of very very much of kind of are. Which back in, I don't even remember what episode it was, but when like Icarus tried to like negotiate a deal with Midas to try and like get them to help them, which they didn't do very well in my opinion. They were like, oh yeah, like Quixus will go along with it, they'll help me. To me, it was kind of like they had to, because again, they're supposed to be Quixus. They kind of have, Midas kind of has to follow along, but obviously they don't. They are Quixus at the current moment. So like the I don't want to call it the Force, but I don't have a better word for it. So the Force is like oh my god, this is so happy I wrote this down. So Icarus is supposed to be Quixus. They're supposed to be in charge. The Force reckons that they are supposed to be. And it gets confused going back. I think, did Riel get wacky hands? Maybe I remember. I thought it was just the eye. Yeah, I thought it was just the like where the purple they had. I reckon it was just that bit from memory, but I could also be remembering wrong. So, so this the Quixus magic trying to be between Icarus and Midas, because it's like, oh, like yeah, Midas, you're Quixus. I'll be there, but then wait, hang on, they're supposed to be Quixus, so the magic going through them, but it's like going through, but you're not supposed to be. It's so that it's essentially really confused on what it's supposed to be doing. One take is because again Icarus is supposed to be this guardian and protector of the multiverse. I reckon, again, this is purely headcanon interpretation. I reckon it'd be really cool if like the Force kind of like saw Midas glitching Icarus's wings and hurting them, was like an act of like defiance, for lack of a better word. Because again, they're supposed to be this guardian, and this force is like, hey, don't hurt them. They're a part of something so much bigger. It's a protection sort of thing, like a defense mechanism. Like you hurt them, then we'll hurt you back. Like don't mess with this very powerful being that's supposed to be a guardian. So when Midas glitches Icarus's wings, it's kind of, that's why it backfires. That's why I think it was like a sudden change rather than progressive. Which is, and kind of going off that, they're sort of linked because of that. So Midas's hands get decayed and wacky, and Icarus starts changing things they touch with their hands. What's another one? They get their wings glitched for eyes. Wings glitch and their eyes get decayed. Again, I mentioned like Sherb you can see like some decay in Sherb's Quixus cosplay. You can see that kind of going there. Yes, I reckon that one came around, that bit of decay came around, again, another sudden one, but it came around during, was it the cathedral episode that Fable tried to like hack into them? I think it was. Um, yeah, so when Fable like essentially magically like cut into them, I reckon like that affected Quixis as well, because Fable was trying to cut Quixis out of Icarus. You can't do that when Icarus is Quixis. Which just adds so much more symbolism to that moment. So yeah, so I reckon that again, like through the force, the Quixis magic, Icarus, Midas, oh my god, Midas got affected the same way. That's why they have that big strip of decay along there. Again, at least my headcanon is that it's stripped along there. It's matching Icarus's glitchy scar. Okay, we're rounding up. So yeah, so the decay is showing like how much Midas suddenly can't control. It's again fighting between Icarus and Midas, who to be with, but like kind of like following the gem. Also, with this isn't with this, but with the gem, we know that Midas got like a Quixis symbol scarred into the. I like that headcanon. Thank you. We know that Midas got like a Quixis symbol scar on their forehead now. I don't know if it'll fully heal over. But that makes me think that the gem isn't. I have a bag of gems actually. Where are they? I have a bag of Quixis gems. It's not like the gem isn't just like stuck on. Okay, well they won't stay, but it's not just like stuck on. Kind of like obviously we have to stick it on the rhinestone on because obviously, you know. But my headcanon is that it actually kind of buries into the skin. So if I wanted to do like my biblically accurate interpretation, I would be using like what's the stuff called? It's a oh, I can't remember the name of it. It's not putty. Like the skin color stuff you like put over and then you can like cut into it and do really gory SFX stuff. I'd be putting that around it to show that it's like embedded in the skin. And again, had I done that here, I would have really decayed that out because it's almost like it's rotting in their head. Because again, it's not supposed to be there. Um, so yeah, so it's getting worse. It's showing how bad it's getting out of control. They can't control it very well. One of the abilities of Quixis is the ability to fly, or at least like hover, levitate, whatever you want to call it. But they're always in the air. So with Midas's power getting worse and not being able to control it, they slowly lose the ability to be afloat and to fly. So I reckon it'll start off small things like they'll be like up in the air. They'll be like up, and then they'll kind of like stutter down, like small things, and then it gets like worse and worse until at one point they straight up just like fall and hit the worldport floor. But then they can kind of pick themselves back up, but they can't pick themselves back up as high. Hit my head, Ken. You can't remove it if the power doesn't sense a new Quixis. Ooh. Hear me out. You can't remove it if the power doesn't sense you. I like that. Yes, I like it. I like it. I like it, Picasso. So yeah, so Quixis eventually like can't keep. Oh my god! Wait, why is there more? This is a deeper dive than I thought it was. Nope, we are still on track. So yeah, so Mice eventually loses the ability to stay afloat. In the Fable final, when Icarus, like Midas gives the Quixis ability to Icarus finally, Midas and Icarus are on the ground of the worldport. I mean, because obviously, you know, with filming, obviously they're going to be on the ground. But I take that as if not fully on the ground, at least hovering a little bit, like just barely touching the ground. So my take for that, based on everything I've just told you, is that Midas didn't again, they were either hovering or they've just at that point completely lost the ability to fly and they're on the ground with Icarus. You could say that they, even if they could fly still, they were kind of like on the ground to kind of like be on their level. But I like my version more, it's angsty. So yeah, so they were being like on the ground, they've lost the ability to fly again, or at least like just like hovering, barely touching the ground. So this, that entire session, shut up. All that to say that's why I did this shot. Like, that drop is them losing. Yes, it's finally that not even reacting because yes, it's funny. Finally. Wait. Because it's funny. Yeah, so yeah, all that just to that's why all that yap just to explain why I did this shot. That is Midas losing ability to fly. And like, yeah, obviously I'm on the ground. Like, yeah, obviously I'm on the ground for this shot here. So if you really want to get technical, you can say like they like blasted back. Where's the screen? Blasted back, fell down, and then kind of hovered over to this bit. But yeah, just all that. So that's like, again, Midas really losing the ability to even keep themselves afloat. And I have a bonus headcanon here. With Midas especially, I reckon it'd be different for the other Quixes because like they got out on time, did what they were supposed to. Also, the way they go in the dung is the whack, I'm guessing. Mimi went, ah, yes! Mimi went! But yeah, so by being up, sorry, I'm trying to stay on script on the script I wrote. Bonus headcanon with Midas, so it'd be different for all the Quixes because again they got out on time. Change it when they were supposed to, but that's so rude. What? So yeah, so it'd be different for everyone. But for Midas, because they stayed for so long, and again, they are losing the ability to oh, you can say, okay, so because they're losing the ability, like, to to fly, and they drop again, I have a headcanon that the walking was actually very painful for them when they first started, like, exploring all the worlds, like, trying to make a new world. Again, for the other Quixuses, it'd be different, or the other Sherbs, because they wouldn't even remember, and they didn't get to this extreme point. But yeah, so, with the decay, it made it very painful to walk. So that's why Midas flies around a lot, especially in the Q56. Because walking for long periods of time still, like, they can walk, but after a long period of time, like, it hurts. So that's why they're always flying around, especially in the Q56. But yeah. But yeah, so that's my long yap theory session about this one particular shot. But yeah. So that they're my headcanons. I almost wrote about it on my Tumblr, but I was like, oh, why do that when I can yap about it? So I can hold the stream hostage to hear my headcanons. So yeah, and yeah, them falling into the darkness, like the whack, like how they go in. Mimi when love it. Which is really hard to try. I tried to do that, like the pits that they make, in Be Nice to Me. Don't know if it came across, but that's what I did. And we love it. We like it, Picasso. Me when yap? Yes. Okay, funnily enough, this is like a detail obviously you're not going to notice, but I do want to point it out because I think it's funny. So the shirt that I'm wearing here is the shirt I wore when I first did an Icarus cosplay. It's just a shirt put on backwards. And you can tell I did because if you look really closely here and here and here, you can see fake blood splatter still. And at first I was like, oh, like, I don't care because you can't see it anyway. Like, again, you can't notice unless I just pointed it out. So you can't see it anyway. But I was like, oh my god, no, wait, that works so well because when Midas gets pulled in, their eye would have had to have been bleeding, which got onto their shirt. So, details, my friends. And speaking of Midas getting pulled in, you'll notice at the start here, there's a lot of like pink or it's supposed to be magenta lighting. So it's kind of like fading in and out. And then when you get to here, there's no magenta. Oh wow, perfect. I know, right? So there's no magenta lighting. That's supposed to, from memory, correct me if I'm wrong, it was Hypixel sure before Midas, and Hypixel's was magenta. At least I hope it is, because that's what the whole symbolism's relying on. So yeah, so that's the color, like color-wise, that's showing Hypixel like leaving and Midas coming into it because it's no longer like magenta colored. And we had to Jen had to stand there with my tall RGB and like lower the brightness down as we went. Because oh yeah, bloody where's this shot? Where is it? This here, so this was like the white ring lights, what we used just for like plain white lighting. Rio, yeah, that's it. And then this one up here was the RGB. That was what was giving all of the like all the funky lighting. That broke halfway, like probably up to here at this point in filming actually. And I've just gone like, "Are you serious? No." And the only other RGB I had was this like stick essentially. It was like a corner light. And it's just this long like pole of light. So we had to maneuver that into what they were holding. But for some reason, if you knocked it wrong, it would turn off. So we had to be there with the remote to turn it back on. So that's what we were using for. You can really see it. Hang on. This one here. Yeah, so this shot here, you can really see all the lights changing. That was another thing we did too. That you could probably be able to tell very much. At the start here, again, throughout the first half, the RGB lighting was set to, again, an RGB, but it was very slowly fading. And, like, so it was a nice fade, very smooth, very soft, versus when you get to this point, is when it's rapidly changing color. So that was another way we did it, like the, that was another way we did it, like the speed of the RGB was another one. Another way to kind of show everything going out. It also does kind of look like more glitching effect when you do it in rapid speed. Hey, I'm just gonna put my camera on charge. So yes, that was another thing that just kind of ended up working out really nicely, was just that it looked like that. Yeah. Oh yeah. I wrote this down because I noticed this detail too. I don't remember what shot it was. I think it might have been for the end shots here and for the start here. Is that when the RGB goes and like I throw a glitch effect over it, you can really see the gem shimmer under it. Like it's acting with the lighting of the RGB. Is it this one? Okay, no, it must have been. Must have been here. Oh, that, by the way, icing sugar. I had to go into my bathroom, put in like a little bit of black food coloring into like this little shot glass of icing sugar, mix it up, hold it in my mouth, and then had to be like, talking to Seb, getting ready. Oh, so that's what that is if you ever need to do that. Yeah, it was this shot here. So you watch the gem. Yeah, like you can really, and the diamonds on the crown as well, you can really see them playing with the RGB. And can I ask a question? Yeah, no, sorry, I've already answered, but this is about what you use for fake blood. Oh, fake blood, yeah. Here, I'll finish this up real quick first. So yeah, so it plays on that, which kind of really shows the glitching of the gem, because again, Midas is not supposed to be Quixus, and that plays really well. But for fake blood, absolutely I can answer that. feel free to ask questions, guys. I was gonna go on a spiel at the start, but I forgot. Absolutely ask questions. I am a huge believer in asking questions. For those who don't know, I'm self-taught, so I kind of have to ask questions, and you know, it's fun. It's fun. No questions are stupid questions. So absolutely feel free to ask questions. Why did I get it out when I don't have my camera on and you won't be able to see it? Okay, so yeah, fake blood literally just used like just some Halloween special, like just stuff from like dollar stores, fake blood. In this shot though, with Icarus, where's young Icarus? That there though, as you can tell by difference of quality, is just red face paint. You can actually still see the fake blood sort of there, I think it was, yeah, from when I tried to do other stuff. And yeah, because it does stain very easily. But yeah, so yeah, just some generic fake blood. I actually, this is gonna sound really weird, I have so much fake blood, but it's only because for my high school final, my HSC, I did an art project that involved fake blood. So yeah, I just have these little like droppers full of, I have like, how many do I have actually? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 10 like mini dropper bottles full of fake blood. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tubes that definitely came from a costume of some sort. Well, that's more liquidy too. 1, 2, 3 more different bottles, another type of bottle. And then Jen actually got me like this very special brand. Let me find the brand for it. Notice that is the wrong compartment. Okay, Revolution. That's the kind Jen got me. It's so it's like really, I haven't used it yet, but it looks really good. Dude, that's like the high quality shit. But yeah, so just, you have a bloody lots of bloody. Yeah, I know. I even wrote in like my art book for my HSC, like I now have a bunch of fake blood, and my teacher wrote in it, that sounds fun out of context. I also have these weird, these don't work very well. They look like red pills, and they're rubbery and fake. And the idea behind them is that you're supposed to put them in your mouth and then chomp down on it, and it breaks, and it like makes you look like you're coughing up blood, like for a special effect. But they're powdery on the inside, so they did not work. And the tablets, like the pill-looking things, and like the capsules themselves, do taste like plastic. I also have this other one, fun story. I have these other, they again look like little tablets that you pop out of the foil. Again, you bite down on them, and it'll like spurt out blood to give that effect, like special effect. But the thing is, I tested it once for an effect, and it made me throw up. And I'm not talking like gag, like I legit on the spot, and it was so disgusting. I got them off eBay. If I knew the exact brand, I would tell you and tell you not to get them. Oh wait, here we go. Yep, there's a label. Fun Place, Carly Place, New York. There you go. So don't buy them. They're fucking disgusting. So yeah, that fake blood collection right there. So yeah, literally, even if you just Google, it's like on eBay or something, like fake blood, like bottles, you're bound to get some. Oh no, yeah, was not fun. I look at them and get PTSD. But anyways, let's talk about this shot more. This shot here is actually not how it was supposed to go. So as you can see, like, you know, you cough up, it comes around and kind of follows me up very shakily. Okay, so for that part of the song, what was actually supposed to, how it originally was supposed to go, was as I started to stand up, the camera was supposed to go around me, like that, and then it was supposed to face so you could see yellow. So it's like as you were waiting for me to get up, it would go around and it would face yellow, so you could see yellow. And I'd do this thing here where you can like see the transparency through the whirlpool, and you're supposed to see that, and through that was supposed to be Icarus or like me as Icarus, whatever. You're supposed to see Icarus like yelling at the whole bit of them yelling at Quixus, being like, "I will destroy every block you place, like you're ruining everything," like yelling at them essentially, say like you're making everything worse, like why would you do this to me? That whole cash out. So it was gonna go up along. You were gonna see that, and then just as it got towards the end, that you would see my head poke up, and then I would finally be stood up. And then it would come back around here and face me for this shot here. And when it turned back around on me is when it was supposed to get up to, I think it's so infinitesimal, was supposed to be that line. And I really wanted that because that way it would have been like, again, Midas like throwing up decay. It's gotten that bad. Like them struggling to even like stand again, or like hover if you want to get into that headcanon. And then going around, Icarus absolutely laying into them, yelling at them, and then for it to turn around on Midas and say, "You think I'm so infinitesimal?" So that was it sucked you didn't get to do that, but this works just as well. Because like you're again like Icarus yelling at them, and then for them to have done all of this, like everything they're trying to do to save and hold everything together, for it to say, "You think like I'm small and nothing," after all that, and oh, my Crixus apologist came out for that part. Oh my god. Yeah, because like even when it was live, I was like I was the biggest apologist for Quixus, because like, hey, they're suffering too. Maybe shut the fuck up, Icarus. Like, oh my gosh. So yeah, that's what that shot was supposed to be. But we couldn't. Seb was like, told Seb what to do, and he was like, "Oh, that's going to be harder," because he physically couldn't get around and everything. Because again, I'd have to go like forward while he got around, and then have to move back to work around each other. And yeah, so he physically couldn't get around to do what we had to do. So we did this stay on Quix's shot, which was my plan B. Oh, the table, the seated table. How did you come up with the idea of it, such how you came up with what should be at what point? Oh, great question. I'll finish this up first. We will get back to that. I promise I will answer. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to like be rude and like put it to the side. That's one question, sir. No, don't apologize. I'm just like, sorry, I can't get to it right now because I want to finish my thought, because I'm trying to make this not as back and forth as what my thoughts are racing. So the reason we stayed on this shot was staying on Quixus was plan B. So this shot here was plan B. Because I do like in film and media and like TV shows when they do stay up, like two people will be having a conversation, and obviously the camera will cut to whoever is talking. So like, oh, character A talks, it cut to them, but then character B starts talking, it'll cut to look at them, and A's talking again, so it'll cut to look at them, and back and forth. But there are some shots in media where it doesn't go back and forth. Like it's especially on more serious notes, it'll stay on one person. So like it'll cut to character B talking, and it'll cut to character A talking. Character B will start talking, but it won't cut to them. It'll still stay on A. And I don't know if there's a word for doing that. I mean, it's probably just to cut out inconsistencies in the filming, let's be real. But no, I do really like that. And I did write down an example of this happening, is in Modern Family. I love Modern Family, good comfort show. Season 5, episode 12, Under Pressure. So the character Alex is having like a therapy session, and again, it's cutting between her and the therapist when each one is speaking. But there's a part there where they really get into it. Like he's really like asking her all these real questions, and it's staying on her. So you can really feel the impact that it has on her and what she's thinking. And I love it when films do that. So that was my plan B for doing this. That's why I was staying on Midas for plan B. And because I could have just cut to Icarus doing that and then cut back to Midas, but that wouldn't have been the same. But okay, so the table, Cedo, I believe you're talking about Potioncraft. This was actually my favorite shot of all the... Did I go past it? I did. Okay, this was actually my favorite setup. I hate that I couldn't do more with this. So the cedar table, how did you come up with the idea of it? How did you come up with what show would be at what point? Okay, so we'll do the first part of the question. So how did I come up with the idea of it? Well, I needed you know, a cedar shot, and I have a table. Yeah, it really was that. So this is like my kitchen table, obviously, and I've just moved everything around, added stuff on. I had to sneak in. I broke into my mum's house and like stole this to borrow it. I don't think she knows I borrowed it for the shot because I returned it when she didn't know. So I do have one of. My mum does have one of these, and I know I've played a little bit of Potion Craft, so I know that you have to use them. So okay, cool. I have that. I can use that for a cedar cosplay. But to start answering the next question, how did I come up with what Sherb would be at what point? So for here, again, everything starts going badly. And so Midas's hands are decaying. It then cuts to their world falling, really showing how bad it's gotten. And because this point here is Midas putting up the barrier, like the black barrier, that's kind of again in the plot, that's kind of like another catalyst for where everything starts going bad. So to show that everything was still going bad, I had to put all the Sherbs like their eyes bleeding to show that it was getting bad as well. So I knew I had to, and again we wanted a lot of cuts because everything was going in one long smooth hit, and now we needed rapid cuts. Oh, that's what that was. That makes sense. Yeah. So that's all that. And yeah, I just, for this shot here, I actually made this yellow and purple shirt ages ago because I was too impatient for them to drop merch. So I just made it. So I already had that. I had these overalls. This is actually for a Wally cosplay that I'm working on for Smash. So I put those on. I had a bunch of fake flowers. These are bath salts. These are resin potions that I got from Oddities. Decorative potion bottle from Halloween reject shop, fancy bowl, book, candle. That is alcohol. That is just gin, and I like the bottle style, so I brought it. I didn't even know if I like gin, but I got it. It was actually a Christmas themed one, so there is gold flakes in it when you shake it up. So yeah, fun fact, there's alcohol in this. But in terms of where to put them when, it actually came down to what I could do, like, on myself, because I obviously don't have 12 different Sherbet cosplays. So I worked with what I had. So Sherbet, like hardcore Sherbet, is obviously just Icarus without some of the accessories, so I just put on my Icarus cosplay. Again, I already had the shirt and this. That's also why you don't see my head in half of them, because I didn't have like makeup or anything on. So I had this stuff for that, so I did that shot. This is supposed to be crit, because that's supposed to be like painted on like robot hand, and also the green gems, to kind of show that. So yeah, again, I could just easily paint like a robot pattern on my hand. I did definitely want crit in it to show, as a part of this little like going badly montage, because in this part here, it cuts from the grey world to orange, and orange was Portal, which is when Crit got their robot hand. So that kind of, you can also see my tattoo, haha. So I really want to Crit in that shot, in that montage, definitely, to show that, again, orange fell and it affected this world like that. What were the other ones I had? Oh, these rocks here, I don't know if I explained. These rocks are orange, the orange portal, crumbling and falling. Midas, you can see, Midas is like rapidly like catching them, trying to like savor them, whereas Icarus doesn't know like what they are, because in the series, when Icarus saw Orange fall, they were like, what is happening, what's happening? Whereas I'm sure for Midas, seeing another world fall would have been absolutely devastating. Oh my god, can I just... Ah! Not what I meant. Yeah, so they're all currently crumbling in their hand versus Icarus not knowing what to do. And of course we have Serena. I noticed Sherbet uses Streamlabs when they Streamlabs when they stream, and I was like, oh my god, I have that program as well. I'm on OBS right now, but I have that program, so I use it to my advantage. And so I really wanted to see Reina there because throughout at least towards the end, is when they start to get their eye all messed up. It doesn't fully get all bloody like the other Sherbs do, so this one it starts to. I think from memory, there's a point there where Midas actually even says something about Reina, like, oh yeah, it really, like, I can't even bullshit my way around the explanation, because I swear I remember Midas saying something like, oh yeah, especially Reina, because it started to affect them. I'm also really glad people like this little Easter egg shot. I saw people mentioning it in the comments. While filming it, Seb was like, oh, why don't you record yourself and then put it on this? And then you could be looking at yourself, and I was like, no. Trust me, this is a nice Easter egg. They're gonna love it, and you did. So suck it, Seb. I know what I'm doing. So in terms of when to put them in, it was really just a matter of like, what do I want to portray? So again, all the Sherbs having their eye bleeding, and what I could physically do with cosplay wise, because again, I had to like cosplay the Sherbs without cosplaying the Sherbs. That's also why in this hand shot here, so this rapid shot of everyone's like hand with blood on it, so that's, don't tell me on a Helix, that's Among Us. That one was Reina, obviously. This is, I know this, don't tell me. Okay. Fun fact, chat, I'm a fake SQCU fan because I haven't watched any other of the Chef streams but Fable. I tried to keep up to date, I really did, and I just didn't. But so this is MCCI. You can also, I don't know, you probably did, but you'll notice every time it switches to a different Sherb world, there's like this vignette of color. So you can see a brown vignette here. There's a green one here for Among Us. Brown again for Rena, and then a nice cyan one here. So yeah. Hey, what was your... Crit the guy! There's also... How did you pick the moment to show the doors at the start? Oh, yes. So going off of what I was just talking about what I could do, so how did you pick the moment to show the doors in the start? Hold up, let me get to the bit. Do you mean like what I'm actually showing? Hold up, let me get to it. So like what parts I actually screen recorded, is that what you meant? While you're answering, while you're waiting for stream lag to catch up. I will say these parts here, I was actually gonna... Like Icarus in bed? Yes? Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I got you. Okay, so first off, I will say these parts here, I obviously have like Sherb's actual VODs in here. But originally the plan was to film them myself, but again, it was flooding, so I couldn't get to like the river or all the places I wanted to get. Again, simply would have just done like me at my tree, so basically would have done that shot here. Craft SMP was tricky because again, I haven't seen Craft SMP. I don't know what I'm doing. So I brought like a pirate hat, and I was gonna just buy like a purple jacket and just do like a behind the head shot so that we could see the pirate hat and it would imply that down at the river. Among Us would have been... I have this weird like panel at the side of my house with wires in it, so I would have just like put on like my yellow jumper and some black overalls and like the gloves, and made it like look like I was in cosplay, and like make it look like I was about to do like wires in Among Us. And then the Icarus bed, this part here was always going to be that part. So yeah, I was usually going to do it myself, but again, it was raining, it was flooding, we couldn't do them, and I was like, oh, I really want to get these done. So I did that way. I did it this way, and I'm actually really glad I did it this way, because the fact that it's like pixeled games and like cartoony against the realism, like the real of me, really showed a different world as like really played into that it looks like a different world aspect. So yeah, I'm really glad I did that way. Um, as for choosing the exact moments, this one here, Sherb farming. I remember in it was Closed Eyes, something named like that. The episode where Ray and Icarus, like Ray essentially watched Icarus sleep, and you got to see the aura change around their eyes, and then for Icarus, you got to see flashes into the different world. I remembered to show. OMG!
SSSSSS.
Shibila, thank you for the 42 months. Welcome to stream. How you been? We talking about CMV, and we having a very much a fun yap session. Yes, I eat it up. Yes. So when in Fable, when you saw the flash to show it was hardcore, you got to see them farming. Now, when I haven't seen any of Sherbet Quake's hardcore like streams. Like I've seen bits and pieces, but I didn't know. So when that came on, I was like, oh, cool. Who's that supposed to represent? And everyone was like, oh, that's hardcore. And I was like, oh, okay. So clearly, like this farm here is kind of like, I guess, an iconic way to tell that it's purple. I mean, obviously you have the purple background here, so you can tell. But yeah, so to me in my mind, that was like, oh, okay, this is how people are going to know. To my knowledge, though, I believe Sherb starts most, if not all, of the hardcore by doing their farming, like a little chore. So that's another reason why I did that one. Craft SMP, again, I know nothing about Craft SMP, so I clicked on a random VOD and skimmed, like, I did this a couple times, I skipped on some episodes, skipped through some stuff, and picked out, like this, I got into this bit here where they were showing the trident fork, and I was like, oh my god, it's a Sherb symbol, perfect, what more do you need? So I just screen recorded that, so that was random. Same thing with Among Us, I just picked a random Among Us VOD, and then screen recorded 30 seconds and chucked it into there. For Icarus, obviously, like them waking up to their eye bleeding. Fun fact, this part here, I did try to recreate the scene in, I believe it was Brothers, when Sherb did their thing. Okay, cool. Get rid of that. Oh my god, B's already on top of it. Love you, B. Oh my god. See, I did try to recreate that bit where, like, you could see, like, Icarus wake up to the bleeding eye and screaming out for Ray. I did, in this bit here, originally I did scream out for Ray, like, made it look like I was screaming out for Ray. I don't know what happened, if it was just, like, a bad acting moment, or how I pronounced it. It did not... It looked like I just went rah like that, and I was like, I cannot have this in. That looks so stupid. Oh no, Channel looks so bad. You don't even know. So yeah, that's why I cut it off. So it actually cuts off right before I scream out for Ray. And oh my god, I was like, no, I can't have that. And in terms of, like, again, I was gonna do this parts here myself, and I was trying to think of, like, moments to kind of symbolize that. I'm glad we started on purple, because had I started on cyan, like here, no, don't full screen, damn it. Yeah, so when it got to, like, the parts here, I want to do so because I tried to again do how I would have done them had I done them, and I'm glad we started on purple, because had we started on cyan, chat, how the fuck do I represent MCCI? That's the reason I showed that as a hand shot rather than a full blown like something like I did for hardcore and potion craft. It's just a hand shot because I didn't know. Oh my god, where is it? It's just I didn't know how else to do it. So my plan, if I did have to do cyan, was to do it like was to have the shot look like I was wearing a GoPro, and from that I would have like, there's like a park nearby that like looks like you're climbing across like this big thing. So I would have just done it like that to make it look like you were doing like this parkour challenge. That was gonna be my plan for that, and I'm so glad I didn't have to do that because, again, I just struggled with how to represent MCCI. But on the other end of it, I'm disappointed that we had to stop at yellow because we would have gotten to red, which is potion craft. And again, I really like this shot here. I really want to do more. I took a couple photos. I posted them to my Patreon. But yeah, I like this shot. I really want to do more of it. So big sad there. So yeah, so to summarize the answer to your question, it was random. It was just whatever I could think up. Well, mostly random. I think the only one that had some real thought into it was the hardcore, and that's about it. Speaking of my Patreon chatters, not only should you check it out, I plan to post the mock-up that I did for this, because I did have it on paper as a storyboard, but I was saying to Seb and Jen, I was like, oh, hey guys, do you want the storyboard to be on paper? Do you want me to come over and verbally explain what to do? What do you want to do? Do you want me to like do it like Jorge style and do like little figures? All that? And Seb said, look, doing it by film would actually be really helpful if you can. They've gone great. So I got Shibila over actually, and she helped me like film like the spinny parts and all that. So it was literally just me in my lounge room just doing like the barest of bare minimum of motions. So that way when you went to watch it, it'd be like, okay, I get an idea of what you're going for. That mock-up, so I have the whole CMV done as me just standing around and using like dolls and stuff to represent what I wanted. That was gonna be my next question, Celia. Yeah, so there's like, yeah, me just standing around, me using dolls and teddy bears to represent the characters. That's gonna be up on my Patreon on my tier 3, I think. Yeah, tier 3. So if you do want to see that, I do. It's not up yet, but if you do want to see that, I recommend going and check it out because it's so silly. I did want to post it side by side, but like my house is kind of messy. So yeah. Also the room here, I got up, and when I got up and looked at the camera, I was like, shit, I need to like tidy up here and take my flags down. But then my ears kept falling off, so I was like, well, shit, and then I just immediately forgot because I was spent so much time adjusting my ear. But then I thought about it, and I was like, oh, okay, the cups everywhere because, you know, when Icarus and Ray were younger, they had shit everywhere, so like they were messy, so you got like books and cups everywhere. But then I noticed the flags, and I was like, well, damn, okay. That's not right for Icarus. You could take a head cannon to say redeemed hydrate. Shit, I don't even have any water. I'll go get water later. Towards the end. Remind me. So you could say like the genderqueer flag is like how they went, because I headcanon that Icarus went from the whole he, him, he, they, them process. So you can argue like that's what that is. Don't have an excuse for the ace flag though. But then I remembered I actually was going to use my flags next time I had to do Icarus's room, because so Icarus, I believe, canonically is pan and non-binary and also polyamorous. Need water while you're talking. I know. Yeah, and so I was actually gonna, like, for whatever project I needed it for next, I needed to show Icarus's room. I actually have a project or two for that. Yes, I was gonna show Icarus's room, and it was gonna have the pan and non-binary flag, and then there would be a glitch. Strange noises. And then there would be a glitch effect, and it would swap out for my genderqueer and my ace flag, because the genderqueer and the pan flag have the same number of stripes, just like the ace and the non-binary flag have the same number of stripes. So in the shot, it would have looked like Quixis glitched the colors of their flags, and that's silly to me. So that's, yeah, and I got to do half of what I wanted to do originally. So we can say that like when their eye glitched, it glitched the colors of their flags, like I've always wanted it to do. Hang on, where is it? There's a certain lighting point where you can see it. Not there. Okay, you can kind of see here. My face is kind of shiny here and here. That's not lighting. I was crying because the contacts were absolutely killing me. I forgot, well, in terms of the week of prep, I forgot to rehydrate and check on my scleras. So when I went to go put them in, they were kind of sort of a little bit solid. Um, so did I then in turn just edit my eyes to be black? No, what I ended up doing was uh soaking them in contact solution for about 10-15 minutes and then putting them in my eyes. Do not try that at home. So yeah, my eyes were constantly watering because the contacts were hurting my eyes. So that's what that is. Um, but yeah, so when I put the contacts in, I walked out and I said to Seb, "This hurts so much. We need to look at me. We need to lock in so I can take these out." What do you think happened the second I said lock in? Where is it? This fucking sheet. This is like triple layered, by the way, because the sheets are so thin and see-through. Um, yeah, it fell off because when I moved back against it, I stepped on it slightly and then it fell down. So we then had to spend 10-15 minutes putting the damn thing back up. There was so much tape up there. Like, it was ridiculous how much tape we needed just to hold up this little sheet of like plastic. Oh my god, like it was ridiculous. Oh my god, I wish I could show you, but oh my god. So yeah, so 10-15 was putting this up. I am like crying the entire time, like my eyes are watering. The second we were done, I was like, yep, that's the shot. I need to take these out, and took them out. I was like, oh my god. It's like AFABs know what I mean when I say like when you take a bra off and it's like the best way. That's what it feels like for contact lenses. It's like the contact lens equivalent of that feeling. Oh my god, chat. Taking those bastards out. Oh, but yeah, so yeah, don't do what I do and don't take take care of your contact lenses, kids. Don't do what I do. Oh yeah, also where are we? As you can see by the blooper reel, I downloaded the Fable World. And went to go and get the shots. Not that one. I got the Aether Portal shots myself.
Oh, Haru, Makoto, stop
Jesus.
talking. He wants you to respond. Say something stupid.
I will do hugs later then.
Yes, thank you for the bits. I love them. And yes, we can do hugs later. So yeah, I downloaded the Fable World. Chat, this goddamn world took up so much space on my computer. I had next to none. Like, it was ridiculous. I still don't. I'm still very low on storage, but it's worse now. I had to delete the world and the folders the second I was done with them. It was that bad. But yeah, holy shit. Fun fact, if you haven't got on the Fable World yourself, obviously I don't have my shaders on there. But when I went walking around and I was like, oh yeah, okay. Found the Aether Portal, got some shots. I was like, oh wait, I need to put the shaders on so that way the portal looks glowy and not just like a white nether portal. So it's turned on and I was like, oh, hang on, I think I want the sun to be in a different position. Let me go and set it. So I went to go /time. I'm not opt. So I couldn't do anything, and I've gone, okay, oh no, I didn't realize. So I was like, oh, cool, I'll just wait for it to, I'll just look around for a little bit, and I'll wait for the sun to go down a bit more. And so, I checked out the Quandan Shub's base and everything, and then I came back, and then I realized the sun hasn't moved. The command to actually turn the day cycle was turned off, so it would permanently be at that position. And I've just gone, are you fucking kidding me? And I couldn't opt myself to change it. I think I was in adventure mode as well, because I went through the portal. I fucked around back and forth to the portal a bit. I got very confused on how portals worked again. Because I don't know why I went through the portal, because you can see in Fable them walking on a pressure plate to get through the portal rather than actually going through it. So I don't know why I didn't immediately go to step onto the pressure plate. So anyways, when I finally got it sorted, I took this 2 shots, and then I took the shot of the portal on. So I got it on. Alright, so yeah, so I got the footage of it on, and then I broke it and got it off, and I clipped the 2 together. But oh god, where are we? Oh yeah, and then I was like, so I took it with it off, and I was like, oh damn, I want to redo it and get another shot with it on. And so I went to go light it, and then I've gone, oh shit, duh, it's obviously not going to work with a flint and steel because, you know, there's no actual obsidian, and that's not like square shaped. I need to use a command. Not opt, so I can't use commands, can I? So I've gone, oh, it's gonna have to do, and thankfully it did, but I've just gone, oh, no, and I had to, like, break some stuff around here as well, and I was gonna replace it, and I was like, oh, no, I can't do any of that because I'm in adventure mode. I did record the whole thing of me, like, rocking around in the world, so I hope to chop that up and put it all back together, for, like, a silly little bit. But, throughout the clip, you can see me, I'm wandering around the world. And then it's like, okay, cool, I finished shots, might as well go look around. I make it to the Poba shop, and then I start lagging immediately, and I've gone, oh no. And so I said, yeah, no, I can't do it. My render was also really bad, so in the video you can hear me say, Connor, I'm so sorry, I will never make fun of your render distance ever again. So that's my formal apology to Connor's on here for poking fun in his render. Because for those who don't know, because again it would cause lag and stuff, that's why towards the end oh hey, we're back in chat. Did not realize I was disconnected. Yeah, so we got so that's why in Ulysses' POV for the final, the Aether portal is just a white nether portal because he couldn't afford to turn his shaders on. God, I'm so sorry. I know the struggle now. Oh, but yeah, so yeah, that just absolutely killed my piece. This damn world killed my PC chat. It wasn't even funny. And as you can tell, Hey obviously did the world stuff because you get raise inventory for that, and oh my god. Oh yeah, this bit here too. So out of everything, chat, out of everything the CMV is, the trickiest part was getting the sound effect of the paper ripping. That paper ripping sound was the hardest bit about the whole thing. Because I fucked around with it so much. That was the part I spent the most, I think, most time on. Like, all the other bits, it's like, yeah, edit, cut, crop it down, zoom it in. This part here, Foley art, I love it. I love-hate relationship actually doing it, though. So yeah, as you can see, I used a... Where are we? As you can see, I used a paper shopping bag. Because I have a random little, like, written on, like, a mental post-it note in my brain. I believe Hey actually explained when making the sound for the Fable, so that really long, like, shh, and then the crumpling up and doing it in between seasons, they went to use paper, but it wasn't crisp or loud enough, so they used a paper bag. And I've kept that in a mental note all this time, because I'm like, I know I'm gonna need that information, I will keep it, and I did, so that is why we use that. So I ripped it up a couple more times and layered it out, and that's what got us to here. And the final product isn't even actually the sound how I originally imagined it. I imagined a quicker, like, rather than what it sounds like now. And yeah, for some reason, I could not get it. I just couldn't get it, and I can't go around asking, like, oh, hey, does this sound right to you? Because, you know, obviously it's gonna, like, it sounded fine, but it wasn't how I thought it sounded fine. But the thing with layering sounds with Foley art, because I had like 3-4 layers of ripping sounds, you move one sound, like one of those layers, like half a second over, and it's a whole new sound. So that's why I really had to mess around with it. I then ultimately at the end I ended up putting like a little echo on one of the layers. You can kind of hear it. Yeah, and that was the only way I could get that sound. This was the only way I could be satisfied with it, and as soon as I was like, I'm not gonna touch it again, because oh my god. So yeah, that was the trickiest part. Actually, no, that's like, that was probably second hardest thing. You know what the first hardest thing about this whole project was? trying to learn how to spell infinitesimal every time, because every time I went to type it, I didn't know how to spell it. I still don't know how to spell it. To look it up, to like get this song and downloaded it, I had to type in mother mother infinite and let like the drop bar fill it in for me because I don't know how to spell it. Spelling is my enemy, chat. And while we're on this shot, actually, this was another bit. Earlier we were talking about like how to show everything going badly, and we talked about camera stability, the lighting, the glitching. This is actually one of them. So if you go here, where are we? A little bit beforehand. Okay, so you can see every now because I will probably fall asleep because your voice today. Aww, thank you. Don't make me cry. We do hug. I give you a microphone hug. There we go. I'll give you another one later. Thank you so much. So yeah, so this scene here, you can see the hand and then you can see it go back. So that's one shot. But then at the very start of this next shot here, you see me pull my hand back. So it's a nice consistency shot. Versus when we get to it. So versus that, so the hand, that was a nice consistency. You could see me pulling it back in the two different shots. Versus here, I stumble back like something just happened. So we have that. And then on the next shot is when I turn around. If I were to do that with consistency towards the end of this one, I would have turned around. So that way, when I turned around here, it would have blended in, again, being consistent. But because this is the point, like we have Midas not bringing in Icarus straight away. That was a big, like, number one. Fable ripping up as it is number two, when things really start to go bad. So that's your first stop of inconsistency. So it's not a continuous shot. So that's another way I did that. Like it's not consistent anymore. It's all choppy and glitchy, and we love it. And I rah about it. On my soul, I am so infinitesimal. I was watching this back for like the millionth time, and I was like, oh, I wonder if I should have added all, like done the effect I did here, where you can see the worlds through the portals. And like, could I do that? But then flicker them, make it look like they were flickering, because again, everything's going badly. But then I was like, that's a lot of like not only screen recording, but like that's a lot of like keyframing. I could have done it, but it's just like also the fact that you can't see them as well, like as a viewer, kind of added to it as well, kind of gave a similar effect. So that was that decision. Oh, and speaking of this keyframing here, how I did this, if anyone was curious, this is why I wanted to show it on my editing program, because I can show it to you better, but it just won't let me. So how you do that, again, I'm talking in CapCut, so I'm going to speak in CapCut terms. Get your shot. So this is the shot. I screen recorded and then use a mask to make it a rectangle shape. Then you lower the opacity, and then you use keyframes. So like so say we were in CapCut right now, you click, set the keyframe marker here, and then you play it for like 2 seconds. I can't rapidly click without putting it into full screen mode. So you play it for a little second, so you go like that. And then you add another keyframe, and then you move this over a little bit, and then reline it back up with the world port. And then you do that for all the shots, all the worlds. So the screen recordings aren't going to be over you, but that's when you take this main shot again, so without the portals, copy it, put it as an overlay, and then remove the background. And then all you have to do is like line it up to match up. The lining it up was surprisingly pretty tricky and finicky work as well. So then you line it up so that way the overlay of you with the background, like with no background, is over all of this. I hope that made sense, because I don't know how else to explain it. Um, I'm trying to. I was gonna. I was trying to see if there was like a part where you can just see there's two of me there, but I lined it up too well, so you can see it here actually. No, nah, I did it too well. You can't see. Um, it did good. Um, but yeah, I can't remember if I've used this trick in a video, or maybe I've used it in like a TikTok video or something, but I've had this little bag, like trick in my bag for ages, and I've been waiting to use it. And what more of a perfect time to use it than showing portals? Ah, where's my camera going? Okay. The other thing too, so as I mentioned before, I'm self-taught. Jen went to fuck, I can never remember what TAFE course she did. She did a TAFE course on media. Seb has actually been to like a film school. Like he went to fancy, like an actual filming school. For any other like Aussies, I'm supposed to flex on this for him any chance I get. He did a project with Jimmy Giggle. That's his flex. He did a project with Jimmy Giggle. So he actually went to a film school. That's why I brought him in. I was like, hey, what did that film school teach you? Can you come film me for a CMV? Now, I don't actually know how to properly use my camera other than start and stop it, but settings, like I understand some things like exposure and all that, but I don't know how to use it. So when I gave him the camera when we first started filming, he was like, oh yeah, give me a second, and started messing around with it. And he was like, oh, okay, I just put it into 4K for you. And I was like, oh, I didn't even know you could do that. So yeah, the video was in 4K. So he just like messed around with it, and I was like, oh, okay. He's like, oh, I did this and this. I was like, that means nothing to me, dude. Like, I don't know what you've done to my camera. So that's why there's a slight quality difference between this and Be Nice to Me, especially in the darker parts. Because like if we had filmed this with the other one, I doubt you would have even just like seen it. Oh, but yeah. So it says here that Jem was my acting body double. For that, I mean, where is it? The shot where we're catching the orange shards from the orange portal. Okay, I've gone past it. Where? You think I'd know the layout of my CMV by now? Yeah, it should be here. No? Yeah, so here. So this here, that's as you can tell by my missing tattoo, that's Jen. There. I wanted to keep it at the same angle so we didn't have to mess around with realigning it and making sure it was perfectly. So I just whacked her in I told her to wear black pants and I whacked her in the Icarus jacket and was like, hey, and instructed her what to do with all the little rocks. So that's Jen there. It's also Jen in this overlay shot here. Again, Quix is like whacking Icarus's wings, and then this was a main point I wanted to show. So one of my favorite shots. Quix is using whack, like using hand movements to glitch Icarus's wings. But then on the overlay, you can see a Jen. This is Jen. Jen is Quixis in this shot. That's me there. You can see like Quixis, like a more physical representation of them actually grabbing and ripping at their wings, and then going back. Yeah, she did so well with that. The first take we did it, and I was like, oh yeah, like adjust the camera here, like move it here, do that. And I was like, oh, can you be like a little bit more like tug on it a bit more? And she's like, oh, you want me to be aggressive about it? And I was like, yes, be aggressive about it. So that's how we got that shot. The sound that plays, like the glass shards on top of the glitching here, is probably one of my favorite sounds that I had to do for this. I mean, there's like two. But yeah, my favorite sound for the whole CMV. Because originally I just had the glass shard sound effect, like all the breaking and the tinking and everything. But then I chucked on a really high trilling glitch sound, and I was like, oh my god, that actually adds to it so much. And I was like, oh my god, I like it, Picasso. Yeah, that's probably my favorite shot there. You're talking about Jen and Mel's MC server. I got a boss that just said Jen isn't working. I a bloody Beetlejuice that I conjured up. But yes, this my beloved. This has been in the works. I talked about this on my Tumblr. This has been in the works for about a year, 3-4 months, because I started mentally storyboarding it just before filming Be Nice to Me. And the main setback for me doing this was the world port and how I was going to make that. I knew that I could hang up like sheets and stuff and paint them, but it was a matter of how and where, what to use, what to affordable. This was so expensive to make. The paint was the most expensive thing. Holy shit, we don't even talk about that. But yeah, so hanging that up, how to hang it up, because if I wasn't renting, I would have just stapled up thicker sheets and painted them that way. I also had to spray paint them in a closed space, so I had fun choking up paint fumes for a good hour. So that was the main setback, trying to do the world port. And then of course I moved and everything, and then I looked at my lounge room, I've gone, oh my god, I can do it here if I use artist paint so it doesn't rip my ceiling. Oh yeah, with the paint being on the walls, it obviously left like a little bit of residue, especially towards the end when we had to spend like 10-15 minutes sticking it up. But yeah, so I had to wash my ceiling for the first time, never done that before. Oh god, but yeah, so that was the main setback for that. Weird thing with the spray painting too, there's 6 colors. I did lay down some like extra like plastic at the bottom so that way I wouldn't get the floor. Somehow I still got the floor because I finished setting up, and then also it happened the next day too while I'm filming, because I didn't have shoes on. My feet turned blue. I don't know how, but they turned blue. Which is weird, because logically you think, oh, it'd be like a brown color because you have like, you know, red, green, purple, all these mixed colors. Just blue. My feet were stained. I had to really mop it out. I don't even know if the color's all out of the floor. But yeah, my feet turned blue when we were filming. And I said to Jen and Seb, I was like, oh, you guys are wearing socks. Are your socks blue? And they've gone, no, they're just dirty. I've gone, how the fuck does that work? So yeah, that was a twist for me. Another thing that I say too, I said I was playing this for around Be Nice to Me. When getting into cosplay, and I did this while getting into Midas as well, I put on some music while I'm getting ready, and I put on Connor's Quix's playlist, which, by the way, if those haven't checked out any of Connor's playlists, that man can make Spotify look like Pinterest Spotify. So if you ever hear me mention Spotify Pinterest, that's me referencing Connor's Spotify account, because that dude can making a playlist look like a talent. Ooh, dropped my camera. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, I was listening to his playlist and the Infinitesimal song was on it, and I hadn't heard it before then, so that's what got me onto it. And so, you know, I point and blame Connor for this one. We point and blame Connor because it has been rotating in my brain ever since I heard it. And I told him this, and he was like, "Teehee." I went, "Don't teehee me. You've been taking up this thing's been taking up occupancy in my brain for like a year now, Connor, please." He was like, "Let's just do them." But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the yap session. Yeah, as you can tell, a lot of work went into this. And yeah, I hope you got to learn a little something, or got to all the little details. Hey, there we go. Alright, thank you so much all for joining. Hope you enjoyed the yap and liked all my theories and all the little details. And maybe you took something away from it. I don't know what you've taken away, but I hope you did. Hey, thank you so much for joining, guys. I love you all so much. Sorry, I apologize for any lag that happened. Hopefully it'll be smoother on the VOD. Thank you so much. I love you, and I'll see you all next time.